The United States is on the verge of establishing its largest naval and air facility in the Philippines, an unprecedented step aimed at countering China's growing influence in the West Philippine Sea. This development is shaking the equilibrium of power in the Pacific. This isn't simply about ramping up military presence. It's a bold statement of intent. The U.S. is reasserting itself, joining forces with the Philippines in one of the most hotly disputed regions in the world. Warships are converging, air power is intensifying. The eyes of the globe are locked on this unfolding buildup. Will this usher in stability through dominance, or is it the prologue to a broader confrontation? Stay with us as we uncover the vast scale of this base, its implications for Philippine sovereignty, and the ways it could reshape Asia's power dynamics for generations. Just 50 miles northwest of Manila, something monumental is taking form. After years of stagnation, the Philippine government is reviving Subic Bay, not as a commercial port, but as a fortified frontline installation ready to confront mounting challenges in the South China Sea. With tensions rising and China steadily expanding its reach through artificial islands and military outposts, Manila is making a decisive gamble. The once dormant airfield at Subic Bay is being reborn as a fully capable forward base. Strategically, this is a revival of a historic site once home to the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet, now being converted by the armed forces of the Philippines into a vital hub for maritime security. According to official blueprints from the Philippine Air Force, the upgraded airfield will host reconnaissance aircraft, fighter jets, missile depots, and vast hangars designed for next-generation surveillance systems. The message is clear. The Philippines is asserting its claims and strengthening its operational footprint across the West Philippine Sea. Although proposals to redevelop Subic Bay circulated for nearly 10 years, urgency accelerated this year with the launch of the bidding process. China's aggressive maritime expansion made the project indispensable. This time, Subic Bay is being shaped for action, not symbolic presence. Once the linchpin of U.S. military logistics in Southeast Asia, Subic Bay is now positioned to become the Philippines' rapid response anchor. Fighter jets and warships will be on standby, ready to patrol and react to flashpoints such as Scarborough Shoal. The base will also remain vital for joint U.S.-Philippine missions, offering port access, maintenance, and logistical services for visiting American forces during joint training exercises. From 2004 until 2022, the Philippine Navy gradually prepared for this transition, developing the Subic Naval Operating Base across 100 hectares previously owned by Hanjin Heavy Industries. Now managed by U.S.-based Cerberus Capital Management, the site stands as the Navy's most strategically valuable asset in the country. Subic Bay is transcending its Cold War role to emerge as a centerpiece of modern defense in one of the globe's most contested maritime zones. Along the western coast of Manila, Subic Bay is regaining prominence, this time as a key player in Southeast Asia's shifting security landscape. Today, it is the only Philippine facility capable of accommodating the largest U.S. naval vessels, yet its significance extends beyond the port. Across the bay, the old Subic Bay International Airport is being transformed into a military stronghold. Its proximity to Scarborough Shoal and the South China Sea makes it an ideal launching pad for forward operations. From here, the Philippines can directly project power into contested maritime areas. For Joshua Bernard Espina, Vice President of the International Development and Security Cooperation think tank in Manila, this isn't just infrastructure expansion. It's a pivotal moment in national defense readiness. With over 7,000 islands to safeguard, the Philippines faces complex challenges, and this base bolsters its defense chain. The Philippine military has designated Subic Bay International Airport as a key hub for integrated land, sea, and air operations. The aim is clear: to extend operational reach across the country's entire exclusive economic zone. Its existing runway already accommodates attack aircraft capable of striking both land and sea targets. The initial stage, funded with $2.5 million, prioritizes housing and security upgrades. But the vision stretches further. Permanent basing of fighter jets, missile storage bunkers, massive hangars for reconnaissance platforms, and drone facilities. The Philippines is laying the foundation for a high-tech, future-ready defense network. This trajectory has been years in the making. Back in October 2012, just months after China seized effective control of Scarborough Shoal, Philippine and U.S. officials revealed plans for Subic Bay's military revival. This time, Philippine forces would take the lead, with U.S. troops rotating under an established defense framework, a system that has since become central to joint training. For Manila, the goal extends beyond training exercises. It's about forging a robust defense architecture that secures its waters, strengthens alliances, and signals to the world that it can protect its sovereignty. Subic Bay is no longer a relic of history. It is a staging ground for the future. It is transforming into a hub of U.S.-Philippine cooperation. Logistics will be crucial, with plans for U.S. military stockpiles on site and the use of Subic's deepwater port to sustain American naval operations throughout the Indo-Pacific. The roots of this shift trace back to April 28, 2014, when the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, was signed. This deal redefined the U.S.-Philippine Defense Alliance, introducing agile force rotations and a more integrated security approach. Not permanent garrisons, but flexible, mission-ready deployments, designed to move quickly, strike when necessary, and adapt to evolving threats. Through EDCA, U.S. forces gained conditional access to designated Philippine bases. While these remain Philippine property under Filipino command, every upgrade, whether a new radar, runway, or fortified hangar, requires approval from the Mutual Defense and Security Engagement Board. What's built for U.S. use also enhances Philippine capabilities, ensuring both partners benefit. EDCA further introduced two models of access. First, forward operating sites, expanded bases with a minimal but permanent U.S. footprint. Second, cooperative security locations, host-maintained facilities where U.S. troops can deploy at short notice. These models are discreet, adaptable, and cost-effective. Crafted for modern Indo-Pacific security needs, the partnership is more than shared runways and drills. Washington has bolstered Manila's defenses with critical assets, particularly for the South China Sea and volatile areas like Mindanao. Deliveries include 3 Hamilton-class cutters and 3 Cyclone-class patrol ships, now safeguarding Philippine waters. Additional reinforcements, 2 Protector-class and 2 Island-class patrol vessels, await U.S. congressional approval. Air capabilities are also being enhanced. The Philippines recently acquired a second-hand C-130 transport plane from Washington, its second under a State Department program. These aircraft are vital lifelines for troop movements, relief missions, and logistics across the archipelago. Even more significant, 3 brand-new C-130s have been ordered from Lockheed Martin in a deal worth 22.2 billion pesos, with deliveries scheduled between July 2026 and January 2027. These aren't just machines, they're lifelines, capable of deploying troops into conflict zones, delivering aid to disaster-stricken regions, and hauling equipment across thousands of islands. This fits into Washington's larger mission to modernize the Philippine military. Congressman Darrell Issa has advocated for $500 million in foreign military financing as part of an $8.1 billion aid package, which could expedite defense upgrades, bolster law enforcement, and expand the Philippines' ability to defend its sovereignty in increasingly volatile waters. From 2015 to 2022, the Philippines has received over $1.2 billion in U.S. support, ranging from training and equipment to direct assistance, including $475 million in grants. No other Indo-Pacific nation received more during that period. Modernization also extends to surveillance. With U.S. assistance, the Philippines has deployed advanced reconnaissance aircraft and Israeli-made Hermes 900 drones. These have already monitored confrontations near the Second Thomas Shoal, documenting foreign incursions. The U.S. also rotates Maiden Reaper drones through Philippine territory for joint intelligence gathering, while the U.S. Army contributes additional aerial monitoring. Together, these tools are reshaping how the Philippines secures its waters. Yet this alliance is anchored in more than hardware. It is rooted in a pact signed over 70 years ago. In 1951, the Philippines and the U.S. formalized a mutual defense treaty, one that is more relevant now than ever. Today, the Philippines stands on the front line of China's assertive push into the South China Sea. Lacking comparable resources, Manila leans on alliances, chiefly Washington, to preserve regional stability. This partnership is no relic. It is a living shield for a free and secure Indo-Pacific. In 1998, the Visiting Forces Agreement provided a legal framework for U.S. troops in the Philippines. By 2014, EDCA expanded this arrangement, granting rotational access to strategic bases and cementing the partnership in a volatile security environment. These accords allow U.S. forces to move troops, aircraft, and equipment in and out of the Philippines for joint training, disaster relief, and defense missions, all with Manila's consent. The Philippines' geography places it at the heart of one of the world's most vital choke points, the South China Sea. Nearly $6 trillion in trade passes through this maritime superhighway each year. It also serves as a critical link in the First Island chain, a natural barrier across the Western Pacific, and a major check on China's military expansion. With tensions escalating over Taiwan in the West Philippine Sea, the U.S.-Philippine alliance is emerging as a counterweight to Beijing's growing power. Washington now has access to 4 more bases across the Philippines, broadening its operational reach in case of conflict. Manila, in return, gains stronger defensive capabilities to protect its people and territory. The stakes are high. China has intensified its tactics, rejecting international rulings, fabricating territorial claims, and resorting to intimidation at sea. In one alarming incident, Chinese Coast Guard vessels blasted Philippine boats with water cannons as they attempted to deliver supplies to local fishermen. The Philippine Coast Guard and Bureau of Fisheries were conducting humanitarian work in their own waters, yet Beijing branded it trespassing, despite international law affirming Philippine rights. These incidents follow a pattern, asserting dominance through pressure and coercion. But Manila is standing firm. With Washington's support, the Philippines is no longer alone. The alliance is evolving to confront new dangers directly, and as Beijing doubles down, the two allies are sending an unmistakable signal across the Pacific. This region will not be dominated. Stay tuned, because the next moves in the Indo-Pacific could determine the course of global power. For ongoing updates about these shifting dynamics and why they matter, don't forget to like and subscribe so you're always informed.